Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. We have produced our satellite. It is going to head on down the belt here and get caught in our rocket-making facility. Where it'll hang out and basically go around in a circle for a while until we actually get our rocket built and it is ready to go. We are at 47% right now and getting ready to be 48. No, I'm going to say 49. I think our productivity modules are going to kick in and give us a free rocket part, and boom, they did. All right, so this is working, though kind of slowly. There's a tweak or two I would like to do here. I moved this to a priority splitter going over here to the left, and I think that's okay, but one thing I didn't account for is the number of items that we have stuck on the belt here in the buffer. I don't know how many blue circuits are we currently making? 50. All right, so if we get 50 out here, they're going to stop making, and they're stopped making right now. The problem is that we don't have this belt filled up, so no blue circuits are going to come down here to our satellite makers. Not that we need them now, but still there's that potential there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be 72, but it's less. I think it's only 6 on one with a splitter. Is it 6 or 4? I don't remember. Let's say 6. So that would be 70. We have 70 out here that this needs to be filled up to before we're ever actually going to send that out. So let's switch this number from 50 to... Let's say that's to fill up the buffer, and let's just go like, I don't know, 70, 75, maybe? How many blue circuits do we need down here on the... 6, okay. So let's say keep that going until we have 76. And we'll just have to modify all of these to continue making blue circuits. And that should get where that buffer will be full. And we should always have enough for both sides. We're not gonna have to worry about like rubber banding or anything like that. Breathing, as I like to call it. Somebody in the comments mentioned the term rubber banding. Okay. That should be good. Now, we had a similar situation with the low-density structures. We need a lot fewer out there than we actually have. The thing is, we have this buffer down here of low-density structures for the satellites, and nothing was getting down to the rocket parts until that buffer was filled up. 63% now. Very, very nice. Okay, we've got some other potential problems out there as well. In that, you know what? One thing I was going to do as well was just bump this number up a little bit. 100. Let's go 150. Because I noticed earlier some of these machines were pausing because they weren't getting enough green circuits, and there's no reason not to. So let's just go ahead and bump that up. And that'll take a while to get the blue circuits back going, get our greens going down to take care of that. All right, this is all good. It's all going according to plan. So anyway, we're going to have some space science coming in here soon. That's going to come up into the train and go up to our labs. We're going to start doing mining productivity 4, and then we're going to be in the situation where we're actually going to finally be running this factory at almost full speed. We've been kind of slowly going. Like right now, I think our yellow science is running. Yes, it is. However, purple is not. We've got our buffer filled up, so it's stopped producing. Same thing with blue, military, red, and green. These sciences aren't producing anything, and won't until we start producing those sciences. But as soon as we get that white science out there, it's going to kick everything on, and we're going to be going full steam. So that's going to introduce some new problems, I'm assuming. One, I would like to go ahead and kind of cut off at the pass. So I'm going to run up here to the mall and grab some supplies. We'll roll the intro. And I will see you very shortly down at our supply loading stations. So, since we've pretty much laid this station down, I've had it in my head that there's going to be a problem whenever we start mass producing things and really running these trains really quick. But as I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if there really is going to be a problem. I'm starting to doubt. Okay, so you can kind of see what I was seeing earlier, and you may have run into this before if you're running multiple stations. This iron station right here is going to get favored by this train. And we've got 4 iron trains currently out on the system. This station right here is going to get a ton of attention. A ton of attentions because it's the closest to the stacker. So any train that comes through, they're going to visit this station first. This one is going to get some attention, but only when there's more than 1 iron train here. It's not going to get nearly as much as the other one, which really isn't that big of a deal. But whenever you consider things like we've got 4 copper stations here, and how many copper trains? We've got 4 copper trains. We have 4 copper trains and 4 iron trains. I thought we had more copper trains. Huh. Interesting. We might need some more copper trains. But even with 4 copper trains out there, I bet this station doesn't get visited very often at all, if it's ever been visited in this entire playthrough. And that means that these... Okay, so some of these smelting columns are moving. So that means that perhaps it's been visited before. This one on the end, though, is not, and that's just 1 smelting column on that. So what I'm worried about here with the attention that this station is getting, is it going to get into a situation where there's going to be a train stuck here waiting for these inserters to fill it up whenever there's full stations over there that it could just go and fill with? And by the inserters, I mean the inserters on the belt. Those load significantly slower than the ones. But I'm not sure that it's going to be something that we may even have to worry about. Let's see. These hold 48 when they're full, right? Yeah, and you hold 4,000 when you're full. So 4,800 times 12 is what we currently have can store fully at a station. So 1 station can fill up 14.4 trains. I just don't know that it's ever going to be a problem. I think the problem that we may have is more with station loading speed than anything else. And I think there's something we can do about that. And maybe we put some circuits to turn the stations off whenever they aren't full, but I don't know if that's gonna be a thing at all. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smelting lines coming in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 8 of those. We've already got a balancer on the iron, so that makes all these smelting columns work evenly. Let's do a little bit of refactoring here. Do I have my balancer book? I don't. Let's put that there. And I want a 7 to 8 balancer. Boy, that is big and ugly. I want that centered on you, and we need to go 1, 2, 3 up. And put that down. And then you will feed over here. You'll feed over there. You will feed into there. Down, down. like so. And we'll have these lines coming this way-ish. And there, you'll go straight in, and you'll come over like that, and go into there. And you know what? I've got, like, just a ton of garbage in my inventory here. I tell you what, let's go ahead and trim those off. You know what? Whatever. That'll be fine. I'll just throw a couple stacks here. Throw some power up here temporarily. There we go. And that'll feed off through that and get all that stuff in my inventory emptied out before we start doing that. Okay, and what does that accomplish for us? That makes it to where it's going to pull from all of these furnaces evenly. So we have the power of all those furnaces moving to fill up these chests, should they need to. And I think what I also want to do... And we're already doing that over here with the steel. Or with the iron, I mean. Let's update this to blue. All that to blue. All that to blue. And all that to blue. All that to blue. All that to blue. And we'll leave the ones coming in red. Now, that may seem a little silly, but here's my thought process. Are you guys close to being drained? Kind of. My thought process is we have 7 red lines coming in, right? And 8 going out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we were running 7 to 7, and we had blue coming out, that wouldn't make sense because we're feeding it a red line and giving it a blue line. But, okay, now that this is out, let's get this thing running full, and we'll just see if what I did there even makes a little bit of sense. It'll take a while for some of those to fill up. But now, we're not getting full blue belts out here, but we should be getting more throughput than... We're pulling in more of these red belts since we've got 4, because... let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these running. 6 of these running. So as soon as this station fills up, we're going to take these 7 belts coming in, and they're going to be spread amongst these 4 belts. So I'm thinking this should work out a little bit better. We'll be able to pull... If we just had red belts, we'd be capped at a red belt coming out. But since we're doing blues, we're going to be capped at a belt and a half each. And I think it's gonna work out better. Not only that, but we're going to be pulling from all of these evenly right now, and they're all going to be running. We're going to be pulling more ore, and everything's going to be better. I don't know that I explained that idea very well. Okay, worst case scenario, we'll be sending in 7 red belts and sending out that distributed amongst all of these blue belts evenly. But as these stations start to fill up, we'll be able to push more than a red belt out because we've got blue. See, we've got full blue belts coming out over here to feed these stations over here. Where we couldn't do that if this was all red. We'd be capped at just the red belts coming in. So we're basically filling up these stations faster. Is what that's all about. And I think I'm good with that. Are there anything we need to worry about here with coal or any of that? I guess we could clean some of this up, since we're no longer doing anything with the fueling here. We don't no longer need that line. Not that it was really hurting anything other than just the general aesthetic. And we ended up with a couple of extra stations over here. I put those in just as... I didn't know if we may need some for the steel. I don't think we're actually making a full red belt of steel in here, so I don't think there's any like upgrade or anything that's going to help us there. We're going to be pulling in as fast as we can. Yeah, see, we're getting 2 full blue belts coming out right now from the 4 red belts coming in right now. So that should help these stations. I think I did a good thing there. And I tell you what, let's just go ahead and set these up so that they do turn off under the condition that they do not have enough to fill up a train. Not that, like I said, I don't know that that is actually ever going to happen. But if it does, you know, we'll be prepared for it. So yeah, let's throw that out. Let's throw a decider out. And let's put that in there and then just say if... is anything less than a train car's worth, 4,000, output red signal. And then we want to hook that up to that signal. And we want you to close the signal when red is greater than 0. I get confused sometimes with the anythings and the everythings, so I just want to confirm. Okay, so that is less than 4K. We have 0 in there. That's what we would expect. Let's throw 100 in there. That is still the case. Okay, yeah, so it's not... everything less than 4K, output 1. You are sending out a red signal. Throw that in there. You're still sending out a red signal because we're 452. Let's say, let's change that to 400. That turns it back on. Okay, and if we empty it out, okay, so that was, I get confused because everything, it's true when there are no inputs. Which, I don't know. That's what we want, though. I think this is what we want right here. So this station will be open. If that gets less than 4,000 items in there, it's going to go ahead and shut that signal off. And let's see if we can copy and paste this setup elsewhere. Okay, let's see if that works. All right, I think that'll work for us. And let's go ahead and put that here, as well as there. Oh, and it won't go there because we've got a radar in the way. Let's move the radar. But be sure to put that back. Or put it somewhere. It'll go over there. Okay, input 57. Those two are completely full. That's going to be open. This is going to be closed whenever there's a train in there or whenever that is completely out of stuff. All right, I think that is what we want. Don't feel like I did a whole lot there, but I don't know. It gives me a sense of pride and accomplishment. All right, let's head over here to the rocket area. I just want to see if we're ready to go. Green circuits are all backed up. Everything looks like it's at a halt. So I'm wondering if that means that our rocket is ready to go. It sure is. Look at that. All cocked and ready to go. We'll launch this one manually, I believe. And let's go ahead and check the auto launch with cargo because we want that to continue. Very nice. We'll do our rocket run. Got to do the rocket run. All right. Fantastic. 65 hours. Wow. Where does the time go? Okay, we've got some white science being made right now. This isn't getting out the most efficiently. We're going on to one side of the belt here. But this is going to produce so slowly that I think we will end up being fine. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see, and that's going to make its way up here. Let's see, we're sending that science signal. Where's that going? Oh, that was for our other stations, for us to turn off the science whenever we reached some threshold. Not sure we want to do that for space science. I think we just want to keep making that go. I was wondering, however, if we wanted to shut off this station whenever we don't have any science hanging out, and that seems like a very good place to do that. So let's do that. Let's enable you, disable. We want you enabled when the science pack count is greater than 0. Oh, no idea what that train was, but it was going fast. And probably need to do something like that to all of our other stations as well. Though this is the only one, I believe, where it'll ever really be true. The others are going to like consistently make science and get them going up there. This one's going to go through big, long sections of time where there may not be any science here to pick up. We have a train coming here, right? Okay, yeah, it's on the way. All right, while that's happening, let's send you up to the science area, and we'll just walk up here. There was one thing I wanted to check here. Yes. I think I just want the science going on one side of the belt instead of both sides. There's no reason to double up that particular science. Well, I was hoping... Ah, here it comes. There we go. I was going to have to do some awkward talking while we were waiting for action to happen. Okay, a train came and saved the day. All right, that's going to come up through here and start feeding, and we are finally going to start launching and working on all of our infinite science. Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, and I think that coming in on one side, I mean, it's just going to free up. I think there's space on the belt for it, but there's no sense in keeping unequal amounts because I think most of these sciences are all... There's none that are not equal. Yeah. I guess the only advantage to that would be to be able to buffer more of it, but these stack a lot bigger than the other sciences. I think they stack in stacks of 1,000, if I'm not mistaken, so it should never really be an issue. Yep, your science station is closed right now, so it's just going to do the purple and yellow, and that is the way we want that to work. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to let the factory run a little bit, see if we can't burn through some of these science buffers and get some other types of science being made. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.